Yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on? What's good? The midweek report is here for August 23rd, 2023. And, we got a few things here that we're going to cover here on this midweek report. Uh, of course, this is like a busy week of boxing of sorts. We got a number of fights that will be taking place over the course of this week within the next few days. Actually, there's something going down right now. You know what I'm saying? But we want to go through a number of those particular fights, and we're gonna, talk about some news in reference to one fight that maybe is happening, maybe it's not happening. I'm not sure. You got like a whole bunch of reports, a whole bunch of uh, you know things that have been dropped in reference to this potential fight, but we really don't have anything it looks like to be official as of this particular point. But we're going to be talking about that here in this midweek report. And also, we're going to go through, a few boxing odds that are out there in reference to a couple of key fights that are happening this weekend. So we want to kind of jump on that as well. Want to just get this through here for y'all, and then y'all be able to react to what's been brought up here on this midweek report. And if you have like anything to chime in on, you can just drop it in the comment box or live comment box, or what may be in the comment section below. You know what I'm saying? So if you can, just go ahead and do that. And that's going to be something that we'll be also talking about here over the course of this midweek report. But what we want to do here in this section is we're going to go through the first part there, and that is in reference to Devin Haney and Regis Prograis. Of course, Devin Haney is the undisputed champion at 135 as of right now. You know what I'm saying? But there's definitely been talks about him moving up in weight to 140 pounds, and for him to challenge for the belt, the WBC title there at 140 pounds, which is currently held by Regis Prograis. Of course, over the past couple of weeks, they're saying that this fight is, pretty much said, it's locked, it's done. But, over the past couple of days, we kind of like seen where, it says like Regis Prograis has said that, he signed the end of the deal. We had like an interview of sorts with his trainer or whatnot under KO Artist Sports, saying that they had signed their end of the deal for the fight to take place, and that, hey, that it hasn't been Devin Haney that signed. Regis Prograis, brought up one thing where he said, like, the date was going to be, October 28th or something like that. And then it was going to change because they want to compete with Tyson Fury's fight against Francis Ngannou. But then they said, hey, now we got a date of November 11th. But they say Devin Haney has not signed his end of the deal yet. So it's like, what's the deal with this fight that's supposed to be for the WBC super lightweight title? Of course, Regis Prograis is a two-time champion there at super lightweight. Fairly good fighter there. Of course, has a fairly impressive record to his billing, and only has that one loss to Josh Taylor, where a number of people may have said that maybe he should have gotten a nod over Josh Taylor in 2019, but I mean, it is what it is on that. Ever since then, he's had a string of knockout victories. But in this last bout against Danielito Zorita, that was kind of a troublesome bout for him to have. Went through the full 12 rounds. It was there around his hometown, and he got that decision win. Some say that he got knocked down in the first round, but they didn't count it. I mean, that is what it is on that. But he still ended up getting a win. Still has that WBC belt there at 140 pounds, and was looking for something where he's going to fight Devin Haney, or is he going to fight somebody else? Because like he's been making posts on Twitter about not fighting Devin Haney. and wants to fight Adrian Broner, man. I mean, it's something that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And they said, like, as of 2 hours ago, he had made another post, but with what Regis Prograis said yesterday, he said, "quote If the Haney fight doesn't happen next, then I'm going to fight AB as an Adrian Broner in November or December in Houston, and then after that, a big unification fight with Subriel Matias or Teofimo Lopez, man, in New York or Vegas." And then here, just recently, a couple hours ago, it says, like he said a few weeks ago, he said Dev, Bill, and Eddie were saying how much they wanted the fight between me with him, Regis Prograis, and Devin next. I just had to sign, and it was a done deal. And here he goes again. He says he said he signed this part, and now all of a sudden he hasn't heard anything back in 3 weeks. He says that something smells fishy in reference to that. Well, and I don't know if y'all have seen this recent post from Regis Prograis, but I ain't say the last sentence on here. That ain't happening. I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? But he's pretty much calling out Devin Haney in reference to what's been going on here over the past couple of weeks, and he's kind of saying like, hey, it'd be I thought I'd be able to make some moves here in the super lightweight division after defending my title in my hometown. Now they say, hey, you get an interest from Devin Haney to move up and to fight him. But as of this particular point, we haven't seen much action, I guess, from Devin Haney's side. We have to wait and see what's going on. I know that you have a number of people that are vocal on Devin Haney's side, including his father and trainer Bill Haney. So we, I would say, hey, I want to go ahead and see this fight. I want to see, what Devin Haney can do here in the 140-pound division. There are other potential bouts that could be made if he is successful against Regis Prograis and wins that WBC super lightweight title. So, for me, I'm like, hey, why not go ahead and have this fight, have this challenge? Regis Prograis, like I said, only has that one loss to Josh Taylor and is, one of those guys that's a top guy there at 140 pounds right now, which is a very, very deep division, with a very talented class there at 140 pounds. So you want to see if Devin Haney could, go from being at lightweight to super lightweight and challenge himself against one of those top guys there in the super lightweight division. So I'm like, hey, why not go ahead and have that challenge there for Devin Haney? But as of right now, we haven't really seen much from that. Like I did, have those posts there from Regis Prograis. As far as I know, I haven't seen anything much from Devin Haney, at least on Twitter. When it comes to this particular fight or this potential fight or whatnot. So, I say, it's something where if enough people want to, say, hey, we want to see something like this happen, and we probably see this happen. But there are other folks or other fans that want to see Devin Haney have fights against other fighters that are not currently at 140, but at 135 pounds, most notably Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Tank Davis. They want to at least see if Devin Haney could make another defense of those undisputed titles there at 135 pounds. And at least after he had the fight with Vasily Lomachenko, there were a number of people that may have said, hey, maybe he could go ahead and move around and see if he could have the super fight of sorts or whatever it is with Tank Davis. But that hasn't really been, mentioned as far as like making the moves to make that fight happen. So that's where you had something where you say, hey, Devin Haney was moving up to 140 pounds. We had some issues trying to, keep it there at 135 pounds in this past couple fights. So what we wanted to do is to see if he could have that fight against Vasily Lomachenko. If he got to that fight against Lomachenko, then he could have that option to move up to 140. And with him being an undisputed champion, he had multiple options to see where he could go as far as like challenging either for a world title or being a top contender there at 140 pounds. So they said, hey, maybe you got something where that option of fighting, uh, Regis Prograis is out there. So you could basically have that. One other thing I just thought about, but doubt and highly doubt that it happens, is that Devin Haney could maneuver away from fighting Regis Prograis, but still fight at 140 pounds and fight for a world title. But it would be up against Teofimo Lopez. Fighting Teofimo Lopez for that WBO super lightweight title. Now that is a really, really, really intriguing fight that could happen. That's something that folks had wanted to see at 135, but we couldn't get it at 135. So we could potentially have that at 140 pounds. But I highly doubt that Haney versus Teofimo Lopez would be the next fight for both of those guys, especially with Teofimo Lopez, really able to try to get that fight date of, December, that Heisman weekend in December. So I would say, see if Devin Haney wants to continue to pursue that bout against Regis Prograis for the WBC super lightweight title, and then after that, if he's successful with that, then try to say have a unification bout of sorts there with Teofimo Lopez. That would really be something to have that than to just go after Teofimo Lopez right off the bat. So I'd say see if you can have the fight with Regis Prograis first, see if that's locked down first, and then you go through that, you get the win, you win that WBC belt, then you could potentially go after WBO champion Teofimo Lopez. So that's one of the things there that we're seeing here. I mean, you haven't really seen, like I said, much action coming off of Devin Haney on this side when it comes to him having negotiations or whatnot with Regis Prograis. But at least from what I'm seeing on Twitter, Regis Prograis has been fairly vocal when it comes to him signing his end of the contract to fight Devin Haney. But as far as we know, Devin Haney hasn't really said much yet in reference to fight Regis Prograis. So, I mean, we'll be following what's been going down, but hey, as of right now, we haven't had much action as of yet. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely that. Now, wanted to go through a couple of things here, reference to what's going down in the boxing schedule. At least for right now, I think it's I think we got the pro box is going down right now. You have the main event Leonardo Ruiz versus Raul Garcia. Both of these guys are undefeated. Ruiz is at 12-0 with 8 KOs, and Raul Garcia is 13-0-1 with 11 KOs. This is on YouTube, so you could have it flick it now, or watch on the TV or something like that. You have those Fire Sticks or those Roku sticks or whatever it is. You could watch Box TV right now on either YouTube or through the app there on Box. So you have Leonardo Ruiz versus Raul Garcia, Justin Paldo against Eduardo Estella. That's a lightweight division, 10 rounds. That Ruiz versus Garcia fight is in the super welterweight division. You also have an 8-round super welterweight fight between Johan Gonzalez and Ricardo Lauba. And I think they, pretty much had this fight between Mandeep Jangra and Marcus Bowes there that was already at the Pro Box Event Center there that's outside of Tampa, Florida. I think that's like around Plant City or something like that, where the Pro Box Event Center is. So that is the schedule that they have there for August. Today on August 23rd. You also have coming up on Friday that will be on the zone is the overtime boxing telecast or the overtime boxing presentation. Man, you do have a number of fights there that will be on that as you have headlining Lorenzo Chuck Simpson versus Vladimir Hernandez. That is going to be a fairly good bout there with Lorenzo Chuck Simpson. He has had a few good bouts there over the course of his pro career up to this point. He's there at 13-0. Vladimir Hernandez is at 13-5. He recently lost to Jesus Ramos Jr., but did have a win over Julian J. Rock Williams in 2021. Also fought notable fighters such as like Fredo Angulo, also in his pro career. But he's now going up against Chuck Simpson there at the Overtime Elite Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. This is, they say it's scheduled for an 8-round bout. So you do have that. They're headlining that overtime boxing card. You do also have Andreas Kansarakis versus Rafael Bakwe, Luis Acosta versus Christian Barreto, Abel Gonzalez versus Robert McGee, Dante Lane versus Nathan Mitchell. That is the overtime boxing card. I think that's the last boxing card that they have there for overtime boxing for this summer schedule. I have to see if they're going to have more going on in that particular instance. You know what I mean? So definitely, if you can, if you have the Zone app, you want to go ahead and check that out. Now, that is on Friday, and then on Saturday, of course, you have that unified title bout in the heavyweight division: Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. That will be the top, the top event or the top fight there over in Wrocław, Poland. If y'all tuned in to the Boxing Source radio show, we pretty much had like a preview of sorts for that fight. Like I said, with those two guys, they're having 20 professional bouts, up to this particular point. Daniel Dubois having that loss to Joe Joyce, where he got stopped by Joe Joyce. Alexander Usyk, undefeated 20-0 with those unified heavyweight titles. You're also going to have Dennis Berinchyk versus Anthony Yigit as part of that card, which is for that type of a level there in the lightweight division. That's not a bad fight. They're at the lightweight division, man. So having Dennis Berinchyk versus Anthony Yigit there on this card is pretty good. You also have Fyodor Chikadze that's going to be part of this card. I'm sorry, but I can't get the name of who his opponent is. Anuel Ngasingwe, whatever it is, right? Both of these fighters are undefeated. Fyodor was on I think it was that Tate versus Ryan card. He was out there at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. That was his last fight in April, part of that Tate versus Ryan card. So he's also in this fight card here on Poland. They're going to have, a few other fights there on this card too, but headlined by Usyk versus Daniel Dubois there for those unified titles. And then you also have, that's going to be on ESPN Plus. That will be broadcasted on ESPN Plus. So if y'all have like that, thing where you pay $9.99 or whatever it is, you could, watch the thing on ESPN Plus. That'll be like a busy weekend. I think you got like some college football games on. You can have boxing on, and this will be on, during the afternoon. So you'll be able to catch that unified heavyweight title fight. Uh, therefore, Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. Like I said, had a preview of that particular matchup there on Sunday, and I yeah, I gotta see if Daniel Dubois is gonna be able to pull it off because I'm not too sure if that is going to be the case. But later on in the evening on Saturday, at least for the East Coast, it'll be the evening. Uh, you're going to have the top ranked card that's going to be on ESPN and ESPN Plus, headlined by Jared Anderson, the undefeated heavyweight, going up against Andrew Rudenko. So Jared Anderson there at 15-0, going up against Rudenko at 35-6. You're also going to have Bakir Jalilov going up against Onoyoid Warame or whatever it is. Man, I get some of these names, man. I'm just be struggling trying to get through them. But you're gonna have that. You also have Efir Jagba going up against Zon Kasabluski. That could be a pretty good bout right there. Efir Jagba versus Zon Kasabluski in the heavyweight division. Especially with where both of these fighters are at, that could really be a measuring stick of sorts for both of those fighters. So I really like to see what ends up happening there in this fight. You have F.A. Jogba that's floating around there in the top 30 in the heavyweight division. So Zon Kasabuski is around that same range. Of course, Jogba did have his fight or low loss to Frank Sanchez in 2021. But outside of that, he's still been able to score some wins. He did in his last bout have a fairly close bout against Steven Shaw, getting a unanimous decision win. But some people felt like Steven Shaw could have been able to do something there in order to win that fight. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Jogba was able to get through that bout, and now he has this one coming up against Zon Kasabuski. I think that's going to be, like I said, that's going to be measuring stick of sorts for both of those fighters there in the heavyweight division. You also have Abdullah Mason. That will be part of the card there on ESPN Plus. Nico Ali Walsh will also be part of that card there on ESPN Plus, and Bruce Shushu Carrington will also be on there against Angel Contreras. So we do have a good amount of fights that will be included on that card through Top Rank. That'll be on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Shout out to those checking in and those on the live chat. It got Brother Terrell there in the building. What's happening. Just get through this thing here for the midweek report as we have a number of things going on in reference to boxing action here at this point. But that is like the main schedule. Like I said, you got some on Pro Box TV right now. On Friday, you have Overtime Boxing on the Zone, and Saturday through ESPN Plus. Earlier in the day, you're gonna have Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. That will be shown on ESPN Plus, and then in the evening, you're going to have a number of those young fighters that will be featured on ESPN Plus, including Bruce Shushu Carrington, Nico Ali Walsh, Abdullah Mason. You're also going to have like Jeremiah Milton. They'll be on there. I think you might have a welterweight bout that'll be part of that schedule too. But it'll be on the ESPN portion of the card. It's going to be 3 heavyweight bouts, it looks like. So 3 heavyweight bouts headlined by the Jared Anderson versus Andre Rudenko fight there. So, they're definitely having Jared Anderson being active. Of course, his last bout was against former IBF champion Charles Martin, where he got a unanimous decision win on that. Of course, he got MVO checking in. He says, nobody cares about these little dudes. Well, hey, I mean, it's going to be featured. All of that is going to be featured on ESPN, man. You got, three heavyweight bouts, man. Three heavyweight bouts that'll be on ESPN. This is what you've been looking for, MVO. All of these heavyweights getting in there, with all the beef, as they say, man. Uh, you think Big Baby will give a cleaner fight than what he showed last time? I mean, I hope so. You know, as of like a couple of years or whatnot, they were saying like Jared Anderson is the guy that's going to be next in the heavyweight division. And so, hey, I mean, if you get all of this type of praise and all that type of stuff, you're gonna have to go in there, show up, and show out. Now, he had his fight against Jerry Force, last year. Uh, and what was that, Madison Square Garden, right? And then you had the fight in April in Newark there. So, at that fight against in Newark, he fought an undefeated fighter with George Arias, but, he pretty much like ran through that. And then now he had that fight against Charles Martin, which, that was Charles Martin came in as like a, replacement of sorts, but, he still got that fight in. So here it is. This is already like his third fight this year, and it's against Andrew Rudenko. So he got to be able to show what he's able to do here in this particular bout to say that he keeps that momentum to be one of those guys to be viewed as a serious contender there in the heavyweight division. Shout out to Juice in the building. How you doing, man? What's going on, man? Salute to you there real quick. But that's mainly what we got for the schedule this week, man. I don't know if anyone wanted to join in on the conversation there that that's up here and rolling, but got the link up, so we're gonna do that here. But do like a brief break here before I pull up the things there for the boxing gods for a number of these fights. If we could, if I'll be able to pull those up. So just give me a few moments here. I wanted to get into what's going on, at least through either DraftKings or through BetMGM. So just give me a brief moment, and we're going to get on that here. So give me about 5 to 10 seconds. I know one thing is that you really don't want to have, as they say, dead air or whatnot. But when you try to pull up this information, man, you want to go ahead and get this stuff going. But for me, man, how things are going in reference to the bet line. So I'm pulling up what we got here for the bet lines, at least for what's going on Saturday. Now we have Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois, of course, for their unified heavyweight title, and on the bet lines here for the two-way. They got this thing where Alexander Usyk is at minus 1,000 and Daniel Dubois is at plus 600. Yeah, that's right. You got Usyk there at minus 1,000 and Daniel Dubois at plus 600. So, I mean, you got him. Alexander Usyk has a fairly significant favorite of sorts there. And from what DraftKings is saying, you got what is it? Usyk by decision at plus 260, Usyk by KO or TKO at minus 225, and Daniel Dubois by decision, technical decision, plus 2,500. and Daniel Dubois by KO or TKO at plus 800. Now, before I continue on here, we got a couple of folks here joining in. You got brother MVO here that's still celebrating an anniversary of sorts. And we got the boxing academic here in the building, man. Yo, what's up, MVO, man?
Man,
I was about to
can
say
you hear
say
me?
something. I was about to say
Yeah.
say something.
Yeah.
It's good to be on the program with the boxing academic. Happy to be here. Great program that you have here.
Matt, that only hurt my feelings the first time. When you got down like a repetitive record, that shit don't work no more.
I don't worry. We're just getting started. I'll
You
find a
know
way to
what?
hurt you before we get off air.
You know what, JR? I have a problem with Matt's boxing decision making, and I got a problem with his singing.
Whoa. Settle down now.
Whoa.
Settle
Oh,
down now.
I don't know, man. You might have struck a nerve with that one, boxing academic.
What happened to your picture? You lost your logo?
Yeah, I gotta find it back, man. I switched phones and yeah, man, it's just
Damn. We love the logo, man. The boxing academic, the smartest guy in boxing.
that you know.
Hey, man, it is what it is. But what site you looking at for your boxing odds, Jr.?
Currently, that was DraftKings. What I just read was through DraftKings. Also, I have BetMGM pulled up. It's the same odds for the three-way, or Usyk being minus 1,000 and Dubois being plus 600.
Because
I
on
know they still had
FanDuel, Dubois is plus 900 by knockout.
plus 900 by knockout.
Knockout or TKO.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, knockout or TKO. Okay. Do they have the odds for on points?
Yeah. Let me pull it up real quick. Okay, so for points, Dubois is plus 3,200. Usyk for points is plus 280. Usyk by knockout is negative 230. So he is favored big to win by knockout, which is very
Matt,
interesting.
don't waste your money. What you mean is very interesting.
I mean, it is.
I think Dubois is going to win the fight, if you ask me.
You say you do?
Yeah, man.
The same way. What's that New York dude that you said was good and stuff that he turned out to be?
What New York dude?
He a New York.
Kornacki, right?
Yeah, Kornacki.
He was good till he wasn't.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's good till he wasn't.
Man, he always been. I mean, he ain't terrible, but he always been bad. How about that? He always been beneath good. He ain't terrible, but he's been below good.
Okay.
Thank you, JR.
I just think he faced someone who was at the peak of their powers. That's all.
Didn't he get knocked out twice?
Yeah, well, 3 times in a row now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's done. Hey, a lot of times at heavyweight boxing, once that egg gets cracked.
He what did he have that fight against Ali Demirzin? That was at the Barclays.
Oh,
yeah. He ended up losing by decision of that.
But I also would like to point out, since this guy is questioning my boxing credentials, I also predicted Gabriel Maestre to beat Trayvon Marshall. I didn't hear you saying anything about that.
Man, I don't know who these guys are, nor do I care.
Boxing academic. Oh my God.
This is recorded.
The boxing academic strikes again.
Matt, I know you ain't talking about I don't care about these smaller guys.
I said I don't care about them. I didn't say I didn't know them. Big
Thank you.
difference.
Thank you for putting that up.
Big difference. I don't give a damn about them, but I know who they are and I'm familiar with their work.
Say the name again.
Who are we talking about?
The names you just called out.
I said Gabriel
It
Maestro.
doesn't matter what their names are. I'm just playing.
Oh
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
I did that just for you because you love wrestling.
Oh my God.
I did it.
Oh my God.
I did it just for you because you love wrestling.
God. Oh my God. 1998 called.
Hey,
Jesus
don't try to
Christ.
try me, nigga. You still watch wrestling, so you better appreciate. You better appreciate my my
I can't
homage,
believe
my
you did
homage,
that.
my homage
I
to
can't believe
wrestling.
you did that. What was that, dude?
You better appreciate
Oh
my
my
homage to
God.
wrestling.
Oh man. Oh jeez, yo.
What their names are for real? What their names are for real?
I'm not falling for that again. Leave me alone.
I'm not gonna do it again. I promise. I just want to know what their
It's
names are.
okay. It's okay.
No. Hey, Matt, yo, let's go back to the thing there where you said you had Dubois winning this fight. And I see, like you mentioned that earlier, on social media, and I said, hey man, you could, try to look at this parlay, a potential, 3-pick parlay, man. Get the 3-way, get the 2-way, and the and if you say what you say by stoppage,
Yeah.
okay, you end up then by
Plus
stoppage,
900.
yeah.
Now,
So
if you think um that maybe Dubois is gonna lose, but you think maybe Usyk's gonna get knocked down, Usyk to be knocked down is plus 690. I don't think that's a bad bet either.
yeah, I don't think that's a bad bet. I think
You know he's fighting Dubois, right?
I do.
yeah,
Dubois is very powerful. Dubois is a
and
powerful.
not just that,
He's a powerful puncher.
but it's not just that. It's something where he could catch Usyk, in the middle of him moving around, so he could get him with the flash knockdown of sorts.
Are you overestimating? Are you guys overestimating Daniel Dubois' skills?
Is
Because
is
that's what it
Daniel
sounds like.
Dubois more skilled than Derek Chisora? I think so. And Chisora gave Usyk all that he could handle. Why? By fighting like a big man. See, I think a lot of people overestimating Usyk at heavyweight just because he was fighting that English muffin, Anthony Joshua, who decided he wants to be a boxing ballerina. But when he's fighting a real heavyweight like Chisora that fights like a heavyweight that's not trying to be cute, he doesn't look as good. He
But
didn't
you
even
do
look
know
that
Daniel
good against
Dubois.
Chaz Witherspoon.
You know Daniel Dubois is one. I was trying to think of something similar to English muffin. He ain't too different from an English muffin. You do know that, right? Daniel
He
Dubois
fights
ain't
like a
too.
big man, though. He fights like a
Does he
big
really?
man. Yes, he does.
Daniel Dubois
Then how do we
reminds
get
me of
the
Joshua,
3 times against
No,
Kevin
they
Lorraine?
just built the same, but
and they robotic the same.
they don't fight the same though.
Man, both of them
Joshua
boys.
tries to box and move. Daniel Dubois goes right at you.
Man, both of them boys squared in the
That would I don't know if that's a good look. I don't know if that's a good look against Usyk though, man.
both of them
I
boys
don't know.
squared in the matchbox.
Hey, all I know is Derek Chisora made Usyk look like an ordinary man, and I haven't been impressed with Usyk at heavyweight at all. Even in the Joshua fights, I wasn't impressed.
Wait a minute.
So,
You're talking about the guy that is the number 3 pound for pound fighter in the boxing source pound for pound list.
well, come on now. Well, that's just wrong. I think you're
Uh,
still giving him credit for his cruiserweight run, which was going on 4 or 5 years ago. So, I mean, Chaz Witherspoon, Derek Chisora, Anthony Joshua. That's not exactly a pound for pound resume, if you ask me.
It is if you defeat who was regarded as a top heavyweight in the division.
Who
But
regarded him that way? Nobody. He
I
didn't beat
did.
Deontay Wilder.
You know he
So
overinflated Anthony Joshua, so let's get
so
that correct.
it doesn't matter.
And
It
this
doesn't
is
matter.
Usyk's this is only Usyk's 5th fight in 5 years, by the way. I just want to point that out also.
It's first fight like 12 months.
Yes, his 5th fight in 5
8.
years. He's a once-a-year fighter now.
Hey, I mean, they say he's out there doing his thing in Ukraine, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey,
When he was supposed to be in the Barclays making a fight with Deontay Wilder, he ended up in California somehow. So I think everything with this guy's a lie.
Well, so you're pretty much going behind what's this Daniel Dubois win, or as some will say, it's an upset. Given that they say that Usyk by KO or TKO is
Yeah, I
minus
know a lot of
2.5.
people are saying that. Yeah.
So hey, that's like I said. I mean that's kind of a eye opener there, man. But you do have that. What's funny is they got, at least at DraftKings, they actually got Dennis Berinchek and Anthony Yiggett on there on the books, and they got Dennis Berinchek at minus 3,000 and Anthony Yiggett at plus 1,000. Yo, minus 3,000. That's wild.
That's
That's
wild,
definitely.
but I think they know that Top Rank is setting up Berinchik versus Shakur Stevenson in November.
Yeah, that could be it. That could be it, because hey, they sure ain't finding anybody else out there for Shakur Stevenson to fight. So having Berinchik, man, with that being him being a complete favorite, there is something. And they say like minus 165 for Berinchik by KO or TKO, and Anthony Yiggett by decision is plus 1,400, and by KO or TKO is plus 2,500
Yeah,
there.
so they're not
So
giving him any chance.
yeah, they're not giving him much of a chance at all in that particular instance, man. On the other fight card on Saturday, headlined by Jared Anderson by Andrei Rudenko. Well, this one, man. DraftKings has Jared Anderson at minus 4,000 and Andy
Wow.
Rudenko at plus 1,100.
You might want to
With
move over to FanDuel. He's minus 3,000 on FanDuel. A little better odds.
Yeah, a little bit of odds there, and they got, what is it?
What about for
Anderson by
method of
KO at
victory?
minus 500.
Okay, it's
You
minus
know,
480 on FanDuel. It's about the
yeah.
same.
It was interesting. They don't have on BetMGM, at least from what I see, they don't have that fight card on there yet. Or at least I don't
Yeah,
see it.
sometimes they go late with boxing. Boxing is not exactly a respected sport.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I don't see it on here, man.
Is
For
there any way Jared Anderson doesn't get the KO in this fight?
They got, what is it at plus 350? Nah, I think he's getting a KO here. I think it's going to be a mid fight, like round what? Rounds 4 to 6, maybe. Probably round 6. You know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So yeah, I see that as yeah, round 4 to 6 to KO thing there. So you got that. What
Now
else you got?
Rudenko, he was off over a year until he came back in January, and he came
Mhm.
back against a 2-10 guy in a 6-rounder. Now before that, in 2021, he was stopped by Vladislav Sarenko.
Semenko, yep.
Yeah, so and that was last time Semenko fought too, by the way. So it's like he hasn't been too active.
Yeah, that one fight in 2 years, pretty much. Yeah, yeah, that ain't it.
Yeah.
That ain't quite it. So I mean, he is, like I said, man, it's not really looking good out there.
Yeah, I think they're
For
trying to get Jared Anderson back on his knockout streak, I'm assuming.
yeah,
I remember
yeah,
he started off 14 for 14 until he fought Charles Martin. So I'm guessing they want to get him back on that knockout streak, make him look good again.
yeah. But I mean, I like to figure out like what's going to happen after this, particularly when you have the uh that co-feature belt, man. There, Efe Jagba versus Zon Kosabuski. They got Zon Kosabuski as the favorite there at -175 on DraftKings, with Efe Jagba at +130. Everything by decision or KO is at the plus side. Kosabuski by KO is +150. By decision is +275. And with Efe Jagba by KO is +300. And Efe Jagba by decision is +500. So
You
there
can make
you
some
have
money
the
off that fight no matter where you go.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you still, you still be able to come off with something. I mean, just going off of the outcome, man, you could, try to get something off that. So,
Yeah, and
you
even if you
know,
have no clue who's gonna win the fight, I don't think anyone thinks the fight's gonna go to distance. Will the fight
right.
go to distance is -168 for no, which is still pretty
Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Most up. So, I mean, that's, definitely something there to, kind of look at. Hold on. What is it? Uh, Yeah, -165 for it to go to distance on DraftKings. So that's something to
Yeah,
look
there's
out
money to
for.
be made all over that fight.
Yep, definitely money to be made on that fight there. What was that other one? The Jalal fight. Oh my goodness, I don't know what it says. There on your end, but DraftKings got Jalal as a -5,000. Like
Wow,
total rounds, and they got the total rounds. Over under for the total rounds is 2.5 rounds.
damn,
But that's they said 2.5 rounds is -115 for under 2.5, and over 2.5 is at -120. It says Jalalov by KO or TKO is -1200.
oh come
Yeah.
on, you might as well stay away from that fight.
Yep. You might as well stay away from that fight. You ain't getting nothing. You
Yeah,
ain't
you might as
getting
well stay away from
nothing.
that fight.
Like, I mean, the only thing that you could get a positive off of if you want to go for Jalalov is if you could try to pick when he's gonna
Yeah,
stop this guy. You got to pick the round. If you're good on picking the rounds, then that's the only thing you could get off that. So I mean that's what we got for those odds in that fight. But yeah, that's those four major fights, at least what they got there on DraftKings and whatnot. They do also have Oscar Collazo versus Garen Yegan in that, but even those odds are like you wouldn't even want to touch those. You wouldn't even want to touch that fight either. You know what I'm saying? So that's mainly what they got there for the odds, man. Like I said, I mean, those are for, as they say, quote unquote, entertainment purposes only. There, so y'all, do it in moderation, as the basic thing says. But that is what you got on there, man. If you see anything on there where you say, hey, maybe I could put a little bit here, a little bit there, and kind of get something off that. Like I said, with the thing with the Dubois, I say, hey, try to go for that parlay, man. That 3-pick parlay. That might be where you get something. If Daniel Dubois gets that win over Alexander Usyk and gives him his first loss, then you pretty much can make off really good on that.
Yep.
So that would probably be the one where you say, hey, maybe I can go ahead and go for something here on this one. But yeah, outside of that, a lot of these other fights this weekend are just, fights that you really don't want to touch on too much. When you see fighters that are favored by -4,000 or -5,000, like you don't,
Ridiculous.
that just ain't it. Maybe that Efe Ajagba Zan Kasabuski one, you might be able to get something on that. Maybe you say, hey, maybe Ajagba could get the win there, and then you could come off positive on that. But these other ones, yeah, you don't really get much off that. So there's that. I mean, you got what is it? I don't even see much on this either. But they say next week is supposed to be the rematch between Liam Smith and Chris Eubank Jr. So that's going down. Then we'll pretty much go through the odds on that as well. But outside of that, there really isn't much action going on next weekend. That's what Labor Day weekend or whatever it is. So that there ain't really nothing jumping off on the American side for that. They really don't schedule fights during Labor Day weekend around here. So that's the boxing and betting slate here for this weekend. We're gonna kind of visit this a little more often, particularly here on the Midweek Report. We're gonna go through like a number of those boxing odds so that y'all see where the potential plays could be at for some of these fights that are coming up there. So definitely look into that. Like I said, this is at least on my side is through DraftKings. At least mostly through DraftKings because they have a lot of stuff there. MVO has his other thing that he goes through, but the BetMGM, and they don't have any fights on there. So if you're trying to get it on the boxing tip, DraftKings or what was it you got on MVO? Which one?
FanDuel.
Yeah, FanDuel. So yeah, DraftKings or FanDuel, you get action on that. But outside of that, you probably won't get that many fights there for you to try to put in on. So there's definitely that. Know that like MVO, you got something on what is it, Twitter Spaces where you go through these fights on the betting odds too.
Yeah, I do my brunch boxing bets usually every Friday. If it's like fights on Friday, I do it early on Friday. If it's not any fights on Friday, I do it like 5 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something, man. They didn't at least here on the DraftKings, they didn't have any of those fights that are on Friday on there. I don't think they, really jump on those overtime
Yeah.
boxing fights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
those
told you, boxing's not really respected.
Yeah, that and I don't think they really touch those. Like anything under 10 rounds, I don't think they touch those fights really all too much. So
Yeah.
There's
Unless
that,
it's Kurt Scobie.
right? But that's pretty much the midweek report on here, man. Like I said,
That's all you got?
Yeah, man. It's showing, man. This has almost been an hour though, man. I went through the whole thing with that Haney Prograis stuff, man. I don't know,
So
man.
you don't
I
have any
said
thoughts on the holds on arenas and dates that TGB requested with the Nevada State Athletic Commission?
Well, I mean, we had a couple dates in November and a couple dates in December.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on at least from what I've heard. We're still waiting on what could happen with a potential fight that's been talked about in the super middleweight division. So that has been kind of talked about to see if that's going to be official. Maybe that'll be announced and be official in the next couple of weeks. So that'll be one date in November. But I think it's going to be they're going to hold one date in November and one date in December. One's going to be for that fight in the super middleweight division, and the other one's going to be for Tank Davis. I think, but we'll see. But the other thing is also with TGB holding dates, they've done that before, and hasn't really necessarily said it took place that they actually booked, the MGM or T-Mobile or whatever it is. So we'll see how that shapes up there. They also had, what was it? Top Ranks had something for January as well at Mandalay Bay. So we'll see, what they have there at Mandalay Bay as well. But yeah, but on your side, what do you think? Are they going to lock down all 4 dates or what?
That's a good question. I don't think they're gonna do all 4 dates, especially November. I think there's a chance they lock down both dates in December. Because to me, those 2 dates are like pretty darn far apart.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I'm wondering if you could see Tank and then maybe a potential heavyweight matchup. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of PBC guys that don't have fights yet that might warrant pay-per-view. And also, I'm thinking Tank. Let's not forget we still have the rematch between Crawford and Spence, who they say it has to be done before the end of the year. So one of those dates could be the Crawford Spence rematch.
Now, if it would be the Crawford Spence rematch, when do you think we would kind of get something that says that it's close to basically happening? Because I think it has to be within a window of like what, 1 or 2 months or so, or 6 weeks.
I would assume 30 days.
Yeah.
And the fight was July 29th. So I say sometime next week, we'll probably know if Errol Spence is going to opt into that rematch. I think the only thing that could possibly delay it is if Terrence Crawford, and rightly so, is trying to negotiate a little bit more money out of Spence to move the fight to 154. Because at the end of the day, there's no reason for Crawford to move off of 147. And we know that the winner gets the option of the weight class. So if Errol Spence really wants this fight and he wants it at 154, Crawford has leverage to say, hey, well, let me get a little extra coin and then we can have it at 154. Or else I'm going to say the fight's at 147. And I think at that point, Errol Spence will forego the rematch and do something else.
Yeah. But, I also think that what may potentially happen on September 30th could affect, what, Terrence Crawford does as well, too. So also got to, be on the lookout for that. But you said with the other day, too, with the heavyweight, I'm not sure, man, because I like with the whole thing about what happened with Wilder Ruiz and the WBC kind of, dropping that order for that eliminator bout. I'm not seeing Wilder Ruiz taking place, like ever.
I think that's over with.
Yeah, that's over with. So
now, Malik Scott is saying he still wants Wilder to get a fight in October before they go to a potential Anthony Joshua fight. But I am skeptical, first of all, that the Anthony Joshua fight is going to take place. I do not believe Eddie Hearn is going to put Anthony Joshua anywhere near Deontay Wilder. So I think if Wilder is looking for a fight in October, he better go big or go home, because I don't think the Joshua fight's happening.
What you mean by go big or go home?
It better be an opponent that I give a damn about.
But here's the thing, though. I mean, it's not like the heavyweight division is, that, deep. So, like I said, you already got Usyk with a fight. You already got Tyson Fury with a fight. Like, less of these fight, like okay, I'll present this to you, right? All right, here goes. I'll name a few guys that Deontay Wilder could potentially fight in October, and I'll see if you are interested in that fight. Now, the first one that I come up with is Frank Sanchez. Would you be interested in that fight?
Shit, that sounds like a no. He got to think about it that long.
Right, right. Okay,
Put the
so
drink down, Matt. Say
Frank.
something.
I don't know. He might be in the middle of something. I don't know what happened, but well, okay. So you got
Did
Frank
my mic go or
Sanchez.
something?
Yeah, it did. It did.
Oh yeah, I said I'll take that fight.
Okay, well, okay. So there's this Frank Sanchez. So he's highly ranked up there. So that could be something there. Uh, uh,
Where's that Russian Canadian guy?
the Russian Canadian guy.
Yeah, he's like a big, ugly Russian guy that fights out of Canada, and he claimed he wanted to fight Deontay Wilder. I think it was like 2 years ago.
He fight real rough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who? Not
it's like Art.
Makhmudov?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Arslan back. Yeah, that
yeah,
guy.
Makhmudov. Yeah,
I'll
Arslanbek
take that.
Makhmudov.
I want to see him get knocked
Okay.
out.
Yeah, 17-0. What 6'5"? Yeah, Russian. He's 34. Wait, he just had a fight too. What was it last month? So yeah, you got Makhmudov. He's actually I don't see why they couldn't go down the line, man. Like go ahead and have the fight with Makhmudov and say that's a WBC eliminator. So those are two guys there that are ranked in the WBC: Frank Sanchez and Makhmudov.
Yeah, what's isn't Joseph Parker a free agent now?
Well, yeah, I was going to name Joseph Parker as another guy.
That fight's
He could
been
be somebody.
that should have happened years ago before Parker decided to fight the English Muffin instead.
That's because he wanted more money, buddy.
Okay.
Well, he could go ahead and fight Deontay Wilder now. So
What's Otto
definitely
Walden
that.
been up to?
I had to talk with Demetrius Salita and get an update on that. You know, see where he's at. But since we talk about Demetrius Salita with Otto Wallin, what about another fighter that's under Salita Promotions? Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Now you talk about two big men, whatever you say. Well, you got Jarrell Miller. He's a big dude. So hey,
that is a fight that I've wanted for many, many years.
Yeah. They definitely had some words to say.
Yeah,
between each other.
He's talking about Wilder Girl. I remember that. I'll take it too. God damn it, I'll take it.
Actually, I definitely take that fight. I would really. That's what I want to see. I want to see that one.
He definitely get hit more than what I recall him getting hit a few years ago.
Yeah, but even a few years ago, Jarrell Miller was getting hit a good amount of times. So that ain't really saying much. He just walks through a whole lot of shots in order to get his off. So I'd say go ahead and have that. If you're gonna have Deontay Wilder fighting in the Barclays Center again, why not go ahead and have him versus Jarrell Miller, man? I'd say why not. So those are a few fights there for Deontay Wilder, man. I don't know. I probably gotta get in contact with Malik Scott and say, hey, what about these potential fights here for Deontay Wilder? Since Andy Ruiz Jr. wanted too much money in order to fight Deontay Wilder, man. So we'll see how that goes, man. But hey, that's what I got, man. That's it for the midweek report for me, man. Around the hour time. Just get that in, get that going, and get it done. Coming back at it with the Boxing Source podcast here. Save Bet channel Sunday, scheduled for 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So y'all check that out, man.